Across the country and around the world, across the street and around the corner, this is Over the Culture. This is Over the Culture podcast, where you get to hear my spin on things I like music, sports entertainment, movies, TV shows, and your mom. You also get to hear about things I don't like rude bitches. And I am your bastard of ceremonies, the one gig kid, Pat Stay Black, Alex Treblack, Reefer Sutherland, Luke Fly Talker, the most interesting blurred in podcasting, the troller of trolls, the prince of petty, Steve G. It's July 4th, 2021. Happy 4th of July, but not in that patriotic sense. Not in that declaration of man servitude. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, fucking lace front wig, wooden teeth, slave master mentality. None of that shit. But in the sense of it simply being July 4th, 2021, and you are here. You made it. Thank you for making it. Thank you for making it possible to be here, to bless us with your presence on July 4th, 2021. Thank you for sharing your time here on July 4th, 2021 to listen to this show. Even if it's July 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, you listen to this show next week. Thank you for making it to get to that point, to listen to this now or later. Now, I'm not too crazy about 4th of July because we all know that day is full of shit. But I appreciate the present. I'm just appreciative of the fact that I made it with my black ass. July 4th, 2021, and I'm 37. Knock on wood, make it 38. I'm just thankful for that. Not my 4th of July, not my Independence Day. All holidays matter. But about rude bitches. So I'm in these little Facebook groups and, I joined some Atlanta Facebook groups just to, maybe reach out and touch someone from time to time because I don't know anyone. And, who knows? Maybe we can link. So there's this broad, and I'm referring to her as a broad for a very particular reason. There's this fucking baddie broad in this one group that I'm in, this Atlanta group. And every time she pops up, she has to let it be known how much men annoy her. And that there's only a very small percentage of men that catch her attention. And you have to be a very particular person to like her, or for her to like you. And she made a post on Friday. And it's a picture of her looking doll-eyed and just very thirst trappish. And she had to announce once again in the captions with her thirst trap picture, she has to let it be known how much men annoy her. And just like clockwork, so predictable, these niggas, these thirsty ass beta males, like clockwork, one by one. But baby, you so beautiful. Why are men annoying you? But babe, you're so, you don't even know me. What did I do wrong, babe? Babe, but look, if you met me, you wouldn't be annoyed, I guarantee. Oh, the fucking coddling ass, Keith Sweat yodeling, fucking booty hole kissing beta male motherfuckers. Oh my God. And I just got fed up with that shit. That was the first thing I saw on my timeline when I hit that little blue app. So I've seen enough of this. This bitch gets on other people's posts and lets it be known how much men annoy her. She makes her own posts about how much men annoy her. And no one even fucking asked her for her dumbass fucking baddie ass broad opinion. So I got on this post and I simply said, girl, fuck you.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
And I knew I pushed a button. I knew someone was triggered. Not only did I trigger her, I triggered her beta male following because they had to put their capes on and they were caping hard. Why are you so butthurt, bro? And she responds, why don't you get your man pun? Oh, that's so fucking clever. she said, get my man pun because I'm a man. And that alludes to me being on my period. It's ironic. That's so fucking clever. And I didn't give a fuck because fuck her. And fuck beta males. I asked the one guy, dude, why are you caping so hard? And his response is, why are you so butthurt? I was like, man, look, I said what I said and I kept it the fuck pushing, went about my day. Y'all the ones that keep re-tagging me into this post, bringing me back to this shit. So obviously, I'm the one pushing the button. Lo and behold, I got fucking suspended from that group for a day. I kind of like that group too. I'm still going to participate in that shit. Just got to watch my language because that's what it was. I said the F word, the F bomb. Slap on the wrist, my bad. Can't keep that up. I might get banned from Fuckerbird. Zuckface. And I kind of need my social media. I use it to market, to promote my podcast. Like happened in the 90s. Every Thursday with Steve G and Matt G and Crushgasm. Every Wednesday with Kendra. But at the same time, that baddie ass broad, let this be a message to you beta males. Never bend, break, or fold for a broad. A rude motherfucker. A broad to me is a rude bitch. And I'm not gonna kiss booty hole. No. Not gonna kneel, begging, whining, keep sweat, but why, baby? What did I do wrong? No, bitch, fuck you. Girl, fuck you. Just like I said in that post. Fuck you, your post, and these beta male sheep motherfuckers. Fellas, get your nuts. Get your nuts back. If you lost them, get your nuts back. And I know players fuck up from time to time. Hi, I'm Steve, and I'm a simp in recovery. But learn from your mistakes. Women outnumber us in population worldwide. You got options. Someone don't want to play ball, someone doesn't want to be cooperative. Fuck them. More fish in the sea. Stop being worried about if you meet these qualifications. Ask yourself, do they meet your qualifications? And I don't care what you look like. It doesn't matter what you look like. If you're so pretty and you're dressed to the nines all the time, your toes are always done, your nails are always done, and you got the fucking Rocky and Bullwinkle eyelashes, and you got the baby hairs, and you make sure your hair appointments are done on time every other week. But you got a personality of a dead moth. You're not even a 5 to me. You might not even crack the 3. Because that's what matters to me. Yeah, I'm attracted to the physical, the external, yes. Men are visual creatures, yes. But a grown-ass man, he values character. He values personality. What do you stand on? What are you about? If it's just about designer bags and just being shallow and just trying to keep up with the Kardashians, keep up with the Joneses, if that's all you're about, if you got no substance, nothing to add to the table, no nutrient, nothing of quintessential value, it doesn't matter. All of that external, superficial shit can go out the window. No substance, no juice, no sauce. That gets no rotation in the Nissan Altima. Now, what about Sha'Carri Richardson, man? The girl can run. Fastest woman in the world. She's proven it. And apparently she can't participate in this year's Olympics. because she smoked a little bit of weed. A little bit of weed. Just some weed. Wasn't crack. Wasn't heroin. Wasn't a performance-enhancing drug. If weed was a performance-enhancing drug, I'd be hitting home runs and hitting 360 alley-oops. But she smoked a little bit of weed. Disqualified. Can't participate. The woman just lost her mom. She just lost her mom recently. Thank God that's all she's smoking. I lose my mom, man, I hope I don't hit the pipe. My mom means everything to me. She means the world to me. You only get one. Get one mom, you get one dad. I love my parents dearly. And I get it. The rules are set in play for a reason. But damn, the woman just lost her mom. What the fuck? I hope she gets her get back because she's still young. There's going to be more Olympics, more opportunities in the future. Stay strong, sister. Now everybody's getting on Phylicia Rashad. This is a perfect example of the crab in the bucket mentality. Now, as we all know, Bill Cosby's free now. He's a free man. And I have my own opinions about him. Say what you will about him. This isn't about him. I want to talk about Phylicia Rashad, the GOAT of television moms, Mrs. Claire Huxtable. Court is in session, motherfuckers. Y'all leave Phylicia Rashad alone. I believe she's the president or some high office holding in Howard University, her alma mater. And the students of Howard are trying to cancel Miss Phylicia Rashad. They're trying to cancel Claire Huxtable because she stands in allegiance with Bill Cosby. She's in full support of her former co-star, her longtime former co-star. She supported him on social media, and as assumed, as predicted, there was an uproar. Obviously, from a lot of her white fans, I'm sure, and some of her own, from her own black following. Okay, Bill Cosby did what he did. Whether he was right or wrong, that's a whole nother case, but leave Phylicia Rashad alone. That's her opinion. That's how she feels. She was in support of him when he was locked up, and she worked with him for years. Now, if the woman never seen any foul play throughout her whole tenure working with the man, that woman never seen any foul play in her whole tenure working with the man. She worked with him on The Cosby Show for about 8 years, and she worked with him on Cosby on CBS for some years. So if she ain't never synced it, she ain't never synced it. Let her keep her job. She didn't put in work. You go, girl. Do your thing. NBA playoffs have taken it to the next level, and we're now in the finals. It is the Bucks and the Suns and the Bucks. And hopefully Giannis Antetokounmpo, hopefully he'll be back to participate. The Bucks just wrapped it up last night against ATL, and they have a young team, ATL. They put up a good fight. I was impressed. Trae Young, he's playing on one good foot. But man, if they keep that core together, who knows? Maybe they can go further. But right now, we're looking at the Bucks and the Suns, and this is the first time CP3, the point guard, first time visiting the finals. And I'm pulling for the Suns, not just because of CP3, but I used to be somewhat of a Suns fan. When Mike left the first time, the Phoenix Suns became my de facto. I deferred to Phoenix because Sir Charles, he had a nice run in the 90s. He was the MVP in '93, and I figured when Jordan's gone, hey, the Suns they would take over. They had a good team. Thunder Dan Marley, Kevin Johnson, Tom Chambers, Danny Ainge, Mark West. Yeah, man. And they're due. Plus, they're due. Now, the Bucks, they won a championship back when they had Oscar Robertson and Lou Alcindor at the time. That was years ago. They're both due. But Phoenix, they ain't never won. Ain't never seen the top of the mountain. Ain't seen it. So, yeah, that's going to be starting up this week. Looking forward to it. Oh, by the way, Pat Beverly, you get no stripes for that. You got to keep your emotions in check, man. And, that was just really weak when the Suns basically had the game, the elimination game on lock. Pat Beverly felt the need to just push Chris Paul from the back like a punk, man. I get you're the mad dog guy. You're the X Factor guy on every team you play. But, man, keep that shit on the court, bro. And keep your emotions in check, Jack. I used to like you, but that gets no stripes, man. No respect, no propers. Pat Bev, you a hoe for that. Over the week, I checked out the documentary Diana, available on Peacock, and it gives an in-depth look in the life and times of the late Diana, Lady Di, Princess Diana. And that lady was fly. She had a certain swag to herself. She was a pop culture icon, a fashion icon. She would show up at these celebrity events, and she was more famous than the prince. She became a celebrity within herself. She just wasn't a placeholder like, oh, I'm the guy, I'm the girl just married into royalty. No. The world fucked with Lady Di. She was fly. She had her own unique drip, her own kind of sauce. And watching that, it was actually her who had the girl crush on Prince Charles. She had pictures of the man. She had posters all over her bedroom. She wanted him. He was popping. This goofy motherfucker. But they were married, had 2 kids, 2 sons, and obviously it didn't work out. They had a divorce, and, she was devoted to humanitarianism. Even when she was still married to that motherfucker. And it was the queen. It was that family that suggested she kind of tone it down. And, you're just here to be, hold this title. You just wave and, you show up on cameras, opportunities, and you wave. Hold the hands. Like, nah. Lady Diana's like, nah. I fucks with the people. The people fucks with me. Diana was out here. She was in the trenches, cuz. She was out here in the street. She was the one making these trips, these voyages, these treks to Africa. She was concerned. She had a genuine empathy. She had a heart, cuz. And I felt like that triggered the royal family a little bit. There was always some kind of uneasiness with Diana and the rest of the family. So I'm sure that didn't sit too well with the queen. It's, I told this bitch to just sit down and mind her business, but no, she wants to go. That's a horrible Elizabeth impression, but fuck her. So yeah, I don't know, man. The way she died, it's sketchy. It's sketchy because when these queens or these princesses, if they get divorced or leave the family, there's a history. There's a history of things not turning out too well for them. I heard, just saying. I heard some things. Just saying. So, Diana, it's called, on Peacock, the documentary on Lady Diana. Check it out. Just yesterday, after watching the playoffs, I watched the documentary directed by Questlove and it's called Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. It's centered around the 1969 Harlem Cultural Festival, and it's available on Hulu. And I wasn't too aware of it. Actually, I never even heard of it. It took place in 1969, the summer of 1969, the same time Woodstock 69 took place, the original Woodstock. And everyone who hasn't lived under a rock in the past, 40, 50 years has heard of Woodstock, especially the original Woodstock with The Who, Jimi Hendrix. I don't know. I don't even know. Was The Who in it? But, Jimi Hendrix stole the show, basically. And we've heard about that. There's several movies and retellings and documentaries on that Woodstock. But Summer of Soul tells the story of the Harlem Cultural Festival in 1969. And not only did it take place the same time as Woodstock, it was longer than Woodstock. It actually went from June of that year, June 29th to August 24th, whereas Woodstock was August 15th to August 18th. So it took place before Woodstock and it lasted past Woodstock. And it featured performances from Nina Simone, B.B. King, Sly and the Family Stone, Chuck Jackson, Abby Lincoln and Max Roach, The Fifth Dimension, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Stevie Wonder, Mahalia Jackson, the legendary Mahalia Jackson, Moms Mabley, and actually everyone here is legendary. It's very informative. It gives you a little insight around this event, the importance of this event. And like I said, it's directed by Questlove, available on Hulu. So check out Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. Now, July 4th, obviously a lot of things happen on July 4th, but pop culture-wise, in 1988, 3 years after its cancellation by ABC, CBS resurrects Family Feud for its daytime lineup, featuring new host Ray Combs. A syndicated nighttime version would premiere later in the autumn. In 1990, Die Hard 2 premieres, and on that same day, Wild and Crazy Kid premiered on Nickelodeon. It was a part of Nickelodeon's original lineup. It was a children's game show where they did these little obstacle course kind of events, very physical activities and things like that. But one of the hosts on that show was Omar Gooding, the little brother of Cuba Gooding Jr. And Omar Gooding is my favorite Gooding brother, because not only was he in Wild and Crazy Kids, he was in Smart Guy, he was in Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and more famously, he was a Peanut in Baby Boy. So yeah, Omar, just off the Baby Boy performance. And Cuba's the one with the Academy Award. Omar's still my favorite. In 1994, The Prodigy released Music for a Jilted Generation. In July 4th, 95, that following year, the Foo Fighters released their self-titled album, Foo Fighters. In 2001, Scary Movie 2 premiered. 2005, Missy Elliott releases her sixth, I believe it's her sixth album, The Cookbook. That received some critical acclaim. But more importantly, I'm going to be talking about 2013 on July 4th, Jay-Z released Magna Carta, Holy Grail. It was very influential to me, because influential to pop culture, because he previewed this during the finals. He, I think it was a phone commercial, maybe T-Mobile, one of those motherfuckers. And it was basically, if you bought the phone, you got the album with it. So that changed the game. That was new. That was chic. Not really chic, but it was new. It was a novel thing to do. And that was the soundtrack, or part of the soundtrack, for my summer of 2013, which was a really good summer for me. Like I said, I lived in Houston for 12 years. And throughout that whole time, I didn't get that many visits from family or friends. But the summer of 2013, I got a visit from both of my aunts. They came, I believe, in July of this year, of that year, 2013. And then later that summer, one of my best friends, Ron J. Shout out to my man Ron J. from the Great Lakes crew, Toledo, Ohio. He visited me along with my cousin Lauren and one of her friends, and we had good times. And summer of 2013, I also performed with my band, Priest of Hiroshima, at the House of Blues in Houston. We did that twice that year. The first time was that spring. I believe it was either late March or April. We performed at the House of Blues, and this was when we were still doing our Rage Against the Machine tribute band. And both times at House of Blues, we opened up for our buddies, Ryme and Steelin', who are a Beastie Boys tribute band. Ryman and Steelin', they're based out of the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth, and they invited us to open up for them both times. So shout out to those guys, all three really great dudes. And then we performed later at House of Blues in, I believe, July, and that was cool because my aunts were just happened to be coming that weekend, and they were able to see their nephew perform in front of 500 plus. That show was wall to wall, and this was the main stage, the main area at House of Blues. So that was a good feeling, a great experience. But yeah, later I'm going to be talking about Magna Carta Holy Grail. Came out the summer of 2013. Today in sports history, in 1910, in the fight of the century, Jack Johnson beats James J. Jeffries by TKO in 15 rounds in Reno, Nevada to retain his world heavyweight boxing title. In 1912, Jack Johnson beats fireman Jim Flynn by disqualification in 9 rounds in Las Vegas to retain the world heavyweight boxing title. In 1919, Jack Dempsey beats champion Jess Willard in the 3rd round in Toledo, Ohio. For a World Heavyweight Championship. In 1923, Jack Dempsey beats Tommy Gibbons on points over 15 hard-fought rounds in Shelby, Montana to retain the World Heavyweight Boxing title. In 1939, Lou Gehrig is the first MLB player to have his number 4 retired on his Appreciation Day at Yankee Stadium, and he makes his iconic Luckiest Man speech. In 1980, Nolan Ryan of the Houston Astros strikes out the Reds' Cesar Geronimo to become the 4th pitcher to have 3,000 MLB strikeouts. In 1984, New York Yankees pitcher Phil Niekro strikes out Larry Parrish of the Texas Rangers to become the 9th player to reach the 3,000 MLB strikeout milestone. And in 2003, LA Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant is arrested in Eagle, Colorado for sexual assault. The charges are eventually dismissed. And that was my half-ass sports report. Coming up, I'm going to go over Jay-Z's album Magna Carta Holy Grail, released on this day in 2013. We'll be back after these messages. In today's birthdays for July 4th, happy 26th birthday to American rapper, singer, songwriter, and record producer Post Malone. Turning 39 today is American model, author, and television personality Michael the Situation Sorrentino. Both turning 56 today are both American basketball players and coaches Horace and Harvey Grant. And turning 78 today is American lawyer, journalist, and author Geraldo Rivera. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. You know what that means, right? You pay nothing. It's free 99. It's a free app that you put on your phone, and it lets you go from there. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Check out Anchor.
Niggas ain't eating, then it must be a famine. I'ma get mine regardless, I gotta have it. Gotta get it jump started, gotta get established. Gotta use everything I got to my advantage. Gotta jump started, gotta get it. Gotta jump started, gotta jump started, gotta get established. Gotta use, gotta jump started, gotta get it. Gotta jump started, gotta jump started, gotta get established, gotta use, gotta understand, I'ma read, gotta get read, I'ma it's like that, gotta understand, I'ma read, gotta get read, I'ma it's like that, gotta understand, I'ma read, gotta get
by any means necessary, things are known to pop off like Malcolm X by the window, pumping the sawed off. Back with a bomb track, throwing a Molotov. I'm living on the edge, you think I'd fall off? Think I just pawn all my crafts and services for a bottle of Dom to crash the surfaces. Spit with a purpose, I burn up the surfaces. 1 year kid, man, I'm hot as your furnaces. Hip hop like I'm Jiminy Cricket, add me to the team, better win a percentage. And now Steve G's chillin', GLC's chillin'. What else can I say? We the illest.
Yeah, you know I come equipped with the good rhymes. Couldn't see me like pennies, mama, good times. Caught slipping, recognized through a gunfight. Couldn't see me like albinos in the sunlight. Couldn't see me like Arsenio on school nights. Couldn't see me like Oprah in the food fight. Cause she beat it up. Another beat from the man on the Junior James. Watch me beat it up. Can't see me, no, you can't see me. Can't see me, no, you can't see me. Can't see me, no, you can't see me. Can't see me, no, you can't see me.
Spit a couple bars, make them chicks just smile, so I take it to the next level, bitch, young style. Beat running from me every time I attack it. Playing with a half deck full metal jacket. Can't catch up, homeboy, you need practice. I abuse mics just like Joe Jackson. Step it up every time I spit. I'm Jeff Goldblum, dropping these fly ass hits. I'm a speed racer, Hennessy taster. Take this down with at least 3 chasers. One mic, ice cold, chillin' like Klondike. Couldn't see me like pussy on your prom night. Couldn't see me like birds in the wintertime. You couldn't see me like bulimics at dinner time. Ask about me, kid with the stupid flow. You couldn't see me like the Browns in the Super Bowl. You couldn't see me like the Clippers in the finals. You can't see me play, boy, that's final.
Can't see me, no, you can't see me. 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 Can't see me, but you could almost try.
And a special mention to those no longer with us. This past Wednesday, we lost American professional wrestler and college football player, the Patriot. Born Delbert Alexander Wilkes on December 21, 1961, in Columbia, South Carolina, he's better known by his ring names, the Trooper and the Patriot. Over the course of his 9-year career, Wilkes wrestled for the American Wrestling Association, the Global Wrestling Federation, All Japan Pro Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling, and the World Wrestling Federation. Wilkes would die of a heart attack on June 30th, 2021 at the age of 59. Will Smith was an American football defensive end in the National Football League. Born William Raymond Smith III in Queens, New York on July 4, 1981, he played college football for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in the first round of the 2004 NFL Draft, where he played for the entirety of his career. On April 9, 2016, Smith was involved in a traffic collision in which a car driven by 28-year-old Cardell Hayes was rear-ended by Smith's Mercedes SUV in an ongoing confrontation that allegedly started with Smith's vehicle rear-ending the Hummer. The final collision caused Hayes' vehicle to collide with the vehicle in front of him and was hard enough to break the rear window in the Mercedes. Moments earlier and less than 2 blocks away in the Lower Garden district of New Orleans, Smith's vehicle had been hit by Hayes' vehicle. Smith's vehicle contained Smith, his wife Raquel, and 2 unnamed passengers. In the second collision, Smith and Hayes exchanged words when Hayes fired a handgun, killing Smith and injuring his wife. Hayes was arrested at the scene. During an investigation, a fully loaded 9mm handgun was found in Smith's car. Hayes and a passenger in his vehicle claimed self-defense. After an investigation, the New Orleans Police Department charged Hayes with second-degree murder. Results of a post-mortem toxicology report concluded that Smith had a blood alcohol content of .235 on the night of the incident, or nearly 3 times the legal limit in Louisiana. Smith was buried on April 16, 2016. He was 34 at the time of his death. Bill Withers was an American singer, songwriter, and musician. Born William Harrison Withers Jr. on July 4, 1938, in Slab Fork, West Virginia, he had several hits over a relatively short career of 15 years, including Ain't No Sunshine, Grandma's Hands, Use Me, Lean on Me, Lovely Day, and Just the Two of Us. Withers won 3 Grammy Awards and was nominated for 6 more. His life was the subject of the 2009 documentary film Still Bill. Withers was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2005 and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2015. 2 of his songs were inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Withers died from heart complications in Los Angeles on March 30, 2020, at the age of 81. His family announced his death 4 days later. He is interred in the Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills. Al Davis was an American football coach and executive. Born Alan Davis on July 4, 1929, in Brockton, Massachusetts, he was the principal owner and general manager of the Oakland Raiders of the National Football League for 39 years, from 1972 until his death in 2011. Prior to becoming the principal owner of the Raiders, he served as the team's head coach from 1963 to 1965, and part owner from 1966 to 1971, assuming both positions while the Raiders were part of the American Football League, or the AFL. He also served as the commissioner of the AFL in 1966. Known for his motto, "Just win, baby," the Raiders became one of the NFL's most successful and popular teams under Davis's management. The franchise enjoyed their greatest successes during the 1970s and 1980s, where they were perennial playoff contenders and won 3 Super Bowl titles. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1992. Davis was active in civil rights, refusing to allow the Raiders to play in any city where black and white players had to stay in separate hotels. He was the first NFL owner in the modern era to hire an African-American head coach, and Art Shell. The first to hire a female chief executive, Amy Trask, as well as the second NFL owner to hire a Latino head coach, Tom Flores. He remains the only executive in NFL history to be an assistant coach, head coach, general manager, commissioner, and owner. Davis died aged 82 in his suite at the Hilton Hotel, Oakland Airport at 2:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on October 8, 2011 in Oakland, California. 9 days later, a private service and funeral was held for Davis, who was interred at the Chapel of Chimes. In the days following the funeral, the Associated Press obtained information pertaining to Davis's death. The death certificate issued by Alameda County disclosed David had died from an abnormal heart rhythm, congestive heart failure, and a heart muscle disease. Davis had previously undergone heart surgery in 1996. Davis was also afflicted with skin cancer and had undergone throat surgery in the days preceding his death. Rest easy, y'all. On this day in 2013, Magna Carta Holy Grail was released. Magna Carta Holy Grail is the 12th studio album by American rapper Jay-Z. It was made available at first for free digital download for Samsung customers via the Jay-Z Magna Carta app on July 4, 2013. It was released for retail sale on July 8, 2013 by Rockefeller, Roc Nation, and Universal Music Distribution. The album features guest appearances by Justin Timberlake, Nas, Rick Ross, Frank Ocean, and Beyonce. Most of the album was produced by Timbaland and Jerome J. Rock Harmon, while other producers included Boy Wonder, Mike Will Made It, Hit Boy, Mike Dean, No ID, The Dream, Swizz Beatz, and Pharrell Williams, among others. The album was promoted through various commercials presented by Samsung and was not preceded by any retail singles. The album spawned 3 successful singles, Holy Grail, Tom Ford, and Part 2 On the Run, featuring Beyonce. Multiple other songs on the album achieved chart success, including Fuck With Me You Know I Got It, Oceans, Heaven, and Picasso Baby. Additionally, the album was supported by 3 concert tours, Legends of the Summer, co-headlined with Justin Timberlake, Magna Carta World Tour, and On the Run Tour, co-headlined with his wife Beyonce. Upon its release, Magna Carta Holy Grail was met with mixed reviews from music critics. Some complimented the album's production and composition, while others were disappointed with its overall theme and found many songs repetitive. It debuted at number 1 on the U.S. Billboard 200, selling 528,000 copies in its first week, making it Jay-Z's 13th consecutive studio album to top the chart. On September 2, 2013, it was announced that the album was certified double platinum by the RIAA for shipments of 2 million copies. At the 56th Annual Grammy Awards, the album was nominated in 6 categories, winning the award for Best Rap Sung Collaboration for Holy Grail featuring Justin Timberlake. On September 23, 2010, rapper Q-Tip confirmed working on Jay-Z's 12th studio album, with a tentative release in 2011. By May 2012, reports arose that he was working on new music with Roc Nation producer Jaleel Beats. In an interview with XXL magazine, Beats stated, "Me and Jay-Z been going back and forth. He picked a couple of my joints that he's working on. I don't even want to say too much about Jay, but we definitely working on some stuff. I haven't even sent him a bunch of beats. I sent him my favorite stuff. He hit me right back like, yo, I'ma go in on this, or I like this." The album development was kept a secret, but the dream hinted about a new Jay-Z album in an April 2013 interview with Hot 97. Leading up to the album's announcement, Jay-Z served as an executive producer for both the film The Great Gatsby and its soundtrack, The Great Gatsby, music from Baz Luhrmann's film, which he and film director Baz Luhrmann worked together for 2 years. The opening song, $100 Bill by Jay-Z, contains the chop and screwed beat, electro rap elements, and is written in the perspective of a modern-day Gatsby. It was both co-written and produced by Evax, one half of electronic rock duo Rat-a-tat. In late 2011, it was confirmed 3 songs had been recorded, and one of which featured Frank Ocean, which would end up being Oceans, the oldest song that appeared on the album. The recording for Oceans and production for Holy Grail were completed in 2011 during the recording sessions for Jay's collaborative album with Kanye West, Watch the Throne. West wanted the 2 songs to appear on Watch the Throne, however Jay-Z chose to keep them for Magna Carta Holy Grail. After Watch the Throne was released, Jay-Z chose to go on a worldwide concert tour instead of devoting more time for the album. Following the end of the tour, the main bulk of recording sessions for Magna Carta Holy Grail took place at Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz Jungle City Studios in New York, where Justin Timberlake and Beyonce Knowles were also working on their albums at the time. Jay-Z described the recording process as having a minimalist approach to give Magna Carta Holy Grail a 1990s feel. While working on Beyonce's 5th studio album, frequent collaborator Timbaland played Jay-Z the instrumental for what would become Picasso Baby. According to Jay-Z, that song built the sound of the album. Jay-Z and Timbaland had grown apart after they worked on the Blueprint 3, but reunited for this album. Timbaland ended up handling the majority of the production on Magna Carta Holy Grail. In an interview with BBC Radio 1, Jay-Z stated that while the two had recorded many songs in the past, it was not until Magna Carta Holy Grail that they got the chemistry to collaborate for a whole project. Producer J-Rock described Picasso Baby as just New York. He told XXL that him and Timbaland were really just feeling the city, the energy that it gives out, and were inspired by the numerous different cultures and different dialects or sound. The instrumental for Fuck With Me You Know I Got It was started by producer Vinyls, who was inspired by a Pimp C speech he found on YouTube. He sampled Pimp C's voice for the intro and then created the instrumental in a short amount of time. After fellow producer Boy Wonder added to the production, the song was sent to Rick Ross, who intended to use it for his upcoming album. Jay-Z was meant to add a guest verse to it, but when he heard the instrumental, he wanted the track for his album. Timbaland added additional changes to it before they mastered the final version. In 2012, Jay-Z contacted good music producer Hit Boy about working together on Magna Carta Holy Grail. Hit Boy created the instrumental for Somewhere in America, a song that was initially supposed to appear on the debut album of Grand Hustle artist Travis Scott. While in the studio with Jay-Z, Scott played the instrumental for him, and Jay-Z instantly liked it. The instrumental for the song Crown was made by a 16-year-old Canadian producer, Wonder Girl. She had collaborated with Travis Scott on his Owl Pharaoh mixtape and went on to produce another track for his upcoming album. Scott liked the instrumental and started to build upon it with Mike Dean. The two then gave it to Jay-Z, who recorded Crown over it. Overall, Jay-Z worked extensively on the album's production with producers such as Swizz Beatz, Timbaland, and Pharrell Williams, who were all featured in the Samsung commercials promoting Magna Carta Holy Grail. He had also worked on the album's production with Jaleel Beats, Boy Wonder, Mike Dean, Kanye West, and Mike Will Made It, among others. He had also been seen in the studio with various recording artists such as Drake, The Dream, Raekwon, Nas, and Timberlake working on the album. The final track listing revealed guest appearances by Timberlake, Frank Ocean, Nas, Pharrell, Swizz Beatz, Rick Ross, and Beyonce, among others. On June 16, 2013, during the fifth game of the 2013 NBA Finals, Jay-Z was featured in a new commercial by Samsung, where he announced that his 12th studio album would be titled Magna Carta Holy Grail and would be released on July 4, 2013. He was seen speaking to producer Rick Rubin in the studio about the album, saying, "It's about like this duality of how do you navigate through this whole thing, through success, through failures, through all this, and remain yourself." The commercial featured producers that are confirmed to be on the album, including Timbaland, Swizz Beatz, and Pharrell Williams. The album was made available for free download on July 4th, 12:01 a.m. Eastern, to the first 1 million Samsung Galaxy S3, Samsung Galaxy S4, and Samsung Galaxy Note 2 users of a new app. Shortly after, Billboard said that the Samsung deal would not count towards the sale figures used by Nielsen SoundScan to compile their charts. The album was then released for retail 3 days later on July 7th, 2013. During the 2013 Grammy Awards, Timberlake and Jay-Z performed their hit single Suit and Tie. Following their appearance on the Grammys, rumors of a stadium tour between the artists were raised as a result of Jay-Z's post on his Life and Times website. He posted a series of venues with the note, #Legends of Summer this week. The Legends of the Summer Stadium Tour was officially announced on February 22, 2013. The tour begun on July 14, 2013 in London, England. Starting in October 2013, Jay-Z toured Europe on the Magna Carta World Tour. It begun on October 3rd at the Manchester Arena in Manchester, England, and concluded on October 29th at the Ziggo Dome in Amsterdam, Netherlands. The North American leg followed that, and it ended on January 31st, 2014. Magna Carta Holy Grail received generally mixed reviews from critics. At Metacritic, the album received an average score of 60 based on 42 reviews. In the New York Times, John Pirellis wrote that Jay-Z was trying to transition from his pop sensibilities, but had not yet found a reliable alternative on Magna Carta Holy Grail, where his raps were often mismatched with rigidly produced tracks. AllMusic's Andy Kellman believed the record was hastily produced, and despite occasionally impressive lyrics, Jay-Z's pop culture references sounded reflexive. Spin Magazine's Jordan Sargent said the song sounded at once overly elaborate and unfinished, along with similar but less momentous themes in comparison to Watch the Throne. Jesse Cataldo from Slant Magazine deemed it a self-important album marred by shallow name-dropping, while accusing Jay-Z of becoming disinterested creatively because of his increased success. The AV Club felt the rapper had exhausted the end of his rags to riches narrative and was unable to reinvent himself beyond gloating superficially about his riches. The Daily Telegraph's Helen Brown found his boastful references heavy-handed and the album unchallenging, albeit enjoyable for the lazy listener. In a generally positive review, Randall Roberts from the Los Angeles Times was impressed by the production's energy and samples, even though he thought the album was not as intellectual or adventurous as its title suggests. Uncut wrote that it mostly succeeded as an attempt by Jay-Z to balance his great wealth, tough history, and news responsibility while retaining his grit. Enemy critic Louis Pattison said it lacked a radical presence, such as Kanye West, to complement Jay-Z's mature ruminations, but nonetheless showed him a sagacious lyricist comparable with Bruce Springsteen or Bob Dylan. In The Observer, Kitty Empire believed that while the diverse production would appeal to listeners at first, rather than Jay-Z's predictably umpteenth retelling of his rags to riches story, the topics become more interesting on subsequent listens because of his surprisingly concerned takes on fatherhood and charity. Robert Christgau from MSN Music said he was won over after several listens by the familial songs, which he found amusing on a record that pits black man as an artistic rebel versus black man as a family stalwart. Magna Carta Holy Grail was met with many accolades and was named in multiple Albums of the Year lists by major publications. Complex ranked the album at number 23 on their list of the 50 best albums of 2013. They praised the album's high-gloss production and strong rhymes by Jay-Z, deeming it very listenable. Rolling Stone named it the 10th best hip-hop album of 2013, saying the legendary MC explored of the moment sounds, textures, and tempos in ways only he could. Even on a bit of an off day, Jay-Z is still plenty impressive. It was named the 8th best album of 2013 by XXL. The album was also nominated for a few awards. It was nominated for Album of the Year at the 2013 BET Hip Hop Awards. After 56 annual Grammy Awards in 2014, the album received a nomination for Best Rap Album. Happy 8th anniversary, Magna Carta Holy Grail. Thank you, Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z. So that wraps up another edition of Over the Culture Podcast. Y'all have a happy My Niggas Created This Fucking Country Day, and make sure you don't blow your hands or heads off with those damn firecrackers. Won't you? Please? Also, make sure to check out my other show happening in the 90s every Thursday with my buddy Matt G and her sister show, Crushgasm, with Kendra every Wednesday. Y'all be cool now. Peace.